Hey guys, my name is David Gray, and I'm doing a review on the Razer Lycosa. Out of my experience of playing with it and experiencing the keyboard for a week or so, I have come to find out that the Razer Lycosa is a good keyboard, but not the best. There are a lot better gaming keyboards out there, but that's the downside of it. It's flat, it's sleek, it's a membrane keyboard, so you can't really expect anything out of it. Other than being a membrane keyboard, unlike a mechanical keyboard, it is quieter unless you get the blue switches on your mechanical keyboard. The Razer Lycosa doesn't have the macros 1 through 5 like the Black Widow does, but you can be able to program, just like the Black Widow, any other key that you want. I'm still learning about this keyboard. Like, there's something you can do with the Razer logo right here and press the macro, but for some reason it hasn't really popped up. But I mean, it's still in the works of trying to figure out the keyboard. So still doing what I can. You can still do gaming mode on the snaps. You can change the layout of everything. Like in the Razer snaps, you can change it to, I know this is probably not going to work, Chinese, French, German, Norwegian, Russian, Spanish, Greek, US, and UK. And obviously I have it set to the US because I live in the United States. But there are a few shortcuts that are really cool, especially this touch panel right here. You can be able to play music, pause it, fast forward and rewind. The Razer logo acts as a certain macro to initiate all the macros on here, I think, but I'm going to figure that out soon. You can turn up the volume and pause the volume. You can also have this little button down here that changes your backlight. Unfortunately, there are only 3 settings for the backlight. There's your entire keyboard, there's off, and then you have the WASD that lights up as well. This keyboard is quiet. It's actually nice, especially with the wrist rest. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and open up something I can type with real quick, like a sticky note or something. Sticky note. Where's my sticky notes? You know what? Sticky notes. And as you can tell, when I typed, it didn't really, make that much of a sound. Especially since my mic is not really picking up as much either, but sticky notes. Apparently I don't have sticky notes. Anyway. Along with the keyboard, you have, instead of the braided cable, you have a rubber cable. So it's not necessarily what you think it would be coming out of the box. It is still considerably a gaming keyboard, and it's very dirty. As you can tell, I've been using it and haven't been really cleaning it. It is not the mirrored version, however. This is the rubber tipped, so it prevents sliding on from your fingers in the keypad or the keyboard itself, which is good. It doesn't light up brighter than what this is. In fact, to be honest, it's brighter on my phone than what I'm looking at right now. I'm recording this with my phone, but I am, however, sitting by a window, and if it was nighttime, it'd be okay, but it's still not that bright enough to project a reflection on or illumination on my hand at all. So basically, all it does, it lights up the keyboard. You can't change the brightness sensitivity. It's literally what you think a keyboard would be. I was a little bit disappointed about it, but I was also happy because it is, in fact, Razer, and so far I haven't had any problems with it whatsoever. Cosmetics, it looks a little bit dusty because it collects dust, but the feel on it, and how many times I've used this keyboard in gaming, I've used it 8 hours in total. And that's on and off gaming, obviously, but, I've been using it even though I have a keyboard on my laptop to be able to use. It's actually a good feel. It's not too much. I don't get heat spots or heat cramps on my hands at all. It's very comfortable. I could be able to access every single key just like a regular keyboard. It is quiet. It's light, which is really good. And the wrist rest does come off. Now I'm going to go ahead and explain the wrist rest real quick. When you take the wrist rest off, you have to have a screwdriver. I mean, there is no, okay, I'm just going to pop this off and then hope for the best. No, you have to have a screwdriver and it comes off. In fact, my wife actually has her wrist rest off. I actually ended up buying the keyboard for her as well, and I don't know, it's weird. I'm gonna go ahead and go get that real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed my wife's keyboard, and this is what it looks like without the wrist rest. And it's actually, you know, without the wrist rest, you can actually feel the difference between the raise of your wrist and when it's laying down on mine. I can be able to, you know, still access every key with ease. I'm going to go ahead and slide this out of the way and put my wife's keyboard on my desk. I love that. Cool. So, given the fact that, you know, without the wrist rest, obviously you're going to expect a little bit of a change. The keyboard does, however, come with your little keyboard stand, so you can be able to raise the keyboard up a little bit, just like your regular keyboard. And even the mechanical keyboards do have them as well. It has rubber pads on the bottom of the keyboard, so no, it doesn't. Oops. Okay, they have sticks. Most mechanical keyboards actually do have rubber pads to prevent the keyboard from stopping, but this, however, has spikes. And it's a spiked, as you can tell, leg. And then when you put it down, you'll see the rubber pads, so the keyboard doesn't move. But on the end of the USB cable, you've got your generic, you know, headphone and microphone jack. You've got your auxiliary keyboard for the USB, and then this was supposed to be for lights, and for some reason, in order for your lights to work, they both have to be plugged in, which makes no fucking sense, because even though there is a USB port on the back and your headphone and microphone jack, you know, for the Razer Black Widow, you only really needed one of these for the entire keyboard to work. For this, however, it seems that you do need both of these plugged in for one part of the keyboard to work, whether it be the lights or, let's say, the keyboard itself for typing, which I still haven't figured out. I unplugged one and the lights went off, the keyboard still worked, and I unplugged the other one while plugging the other one back in, the one I just took out, and the lights were off and the keyboard still worked, so it really didn't make sense to me. But I guess if you want the lights, you gotta have them both plugged in. So, but yeah, that's my review on the Razer Lycosa. It's not the mirrored edition, so don't get your hopes up. It's still going to be the same thing, by the way. If you get the Razer mirrored edition and the regular Razer Lycosa, you're still going to get the same performance out of it. Like I said, it's not a bad keyboard. This is actually my first membrane keyboard. So it's just like having a regular keyboard, but it is programmable through macros thanks to the Razer Synapse. So getting used to creating macros and stuff like that, this is what you're going to get. Now, price-wise, I do agree with their prices. Only because of the fact that, one, Razer products are only for Razer Synapse. You can't program anything else with it. You can't do anything else with it. So basically, what you get is what you're paying for. You got a gaming keyboard that is programmable through any key for any macro for anything you want. And you get this nice little tiny, you know, media pad, which is good. Other than that, it's a really good keyboard, and I hope you guys enjoy it. My review, I give the Razer Lycosa probably a 6 or 6.5 out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the negative. Yeah, this is my review. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you have any questions about any other Razer product, I would be more than happy to test it out and review it for you. And that's pretty much it. So this is David Gray, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. GG.